Welcome to Back Issue Classics, here inside the Pull Bag. TFG1Mike brings in a variety of hosts to cover many comics. We review stuff from DC, Marvel, IDW, Image, Zenescope, and more. So open your ears to hear our discussions on comics you might not have known about. It's all here inside the Pull Bag with Back Issue Classics.
Alright folks, welcome to the Pull Bag. This is the 40th episode of Back Issue Classics. This will end our Robyn Hood Month here inside the Pull Bag. We close out with Robyn Hood Volume 3 Legend. And this one, as usual, written by Pat Shand. The artwork is by Larry Watts. The colors are by Salmet Mojono. I'm probably butchering that name. The trade design was Christopher Cody and Steven Sheffer. And Pat Shand was his own editor. So there is that. This one starts out with another dream sequence, which is interesting. How do you feel about two dream sequences in two comics?
I don't have a problem with dream sequences because if you think about it, we have those on Arrow every week.
Yeah, flashbacks.
Yeah, they're still dream sequences.
Yeah.
It's that recollection of things.
Recollection of things.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm fine with it. Especially seeing people getting pierced with a sword.
Oh, I don't know if I want to see Will Scarlet get pierced with a sword, but okay. So Robyn Hood is daydreaming again. We've got her and the sheriff fighting with her and Gisborne and Will. And Steve just said that, Will pierced with a sword. And this is to kind of catch everybody up on what's going on if they hadn't read the previous trades. And so this is two times now between Age of Darkness and here where she's had these dreams and she's waking up into a strange situation to her. Oh, yeah, I'm on a helicopter for a mission for Hibbo Corp. And, oh, yeah, now I'm in a cab. And the cabbie's like, yeah, you better tip. The meter's still running. Now, we mentioned last time in Age of Darkness that Robyn kind of has a newer uniform. She's got a full-on black leather trench coat kind of thing. She's got long black boots with her green leggings and green bra, essentially. Do you like this uniform more than the others, or
it's like Arrow mixed with Green Poison Ivy mixed with Sam Jackson's Nick Fury? I like the one from the other one, but that's just because it's more like Arrow-esque.
Okay.
By design, but it's not actually. It's more like, I don't know, more combat Arrow.
Mm-hmm. So she goes to this deal with this scumbag is talking to this other guy and this governor guy, and apparently there's some pictures, and we see the panel where Robyn is at the top of the skylight and she comes crashing down. The panel where she comes crashing down, the only thing I can hear in my head is, I guess you really like pulling glass out of your shorts.
She said it.
Well, it's either, the Joker line about Batman and Robin pulling glass out of their shorts, or you go to Nigma from Batman Forever. Your entrance was good. His was better. The difference? Showmanship. So we've got her breaking up this party, and she doesn't exactly give the money back, but at least she's not killing people anymore, because everybody gets an arrow to the knee.
What? It's legit, but that's a bad Skyrim joke.
Yeah, I remember that joke. I don't even care. I've never even played Skyrim. And yeah.
He took an arrow to the knee. I would have let him finish, but he took an arrow to the knee.
So she actually does rob them. She's going back to robbing from the rich, giving to the poor, which is essentially herself and anyone else. So earlier we had the cabbie say, better tip. She comes back and says, here, take the rest of the night off. And she just walks away. I absolutely love that.
And she got a payday.
Yep. So we go back to Mist, actually, Mist.
They come to her.
They're coming. Yeah, that's what it is. So we actually, she goes to bed, and she's still, obviously trying to, mourn and the loss of Will Scarlet, and Gisborne and Avella come to Robyn with Will Scarlet, which is not exactly the most logical thing, but it's Marion, Gisborne, and I thought Avella was there too, but I could be wrong. Avella isn't there. It's Marion, Will, and Gisborne. So apparently Will is alive. And she's not believing this, and they won't tell her the truth, and we have Robyn and Will talking. Now, how do you feel about these two characters and their interaction in this story? Will Scarlet and Robyn Hood.
I think they're fine. I mean, obviously they like each other.
Yeah.
And they're like the only two that seem to understand each other in their little universes, especially for Robyn.
Yeah.
But the guy of Gisborne showing up was kind of different.
What? Yeah. Yeah, because last time we saw him, he was a villain. So Will tells her somewhat of the story of how he is alive. He doesn't tell her the whole story, but he tells her some of it. And she says, or he says, we have much to talk about, Robyn. Gisborne is a tool we can use, and we see Gisborne. This is just so crazy. Sitting on Robyn's couch, and the cat is sitting in front of him, and he goes to pet the cat, and the cat immediately knows, no way, hiss, boo, get out of here. After I reread this, all I can think of is, Gisborne he is the villain of this final story, but he's not really a villain. I mean, he's a knight who lost his honor because Robyn wouldn't kill him. And then Patrick Shan goes into this whole storyline of, what kind of honor does he have? And how can he have gone through and done all this stuff and created the sheriff, but still still retain his honor? So there's that. We then get to some more action where we have Robyn and Marion having a little bit of an interaction here. And they're going to meet up to go back to Mist. Gisborne and Will get into it, and Will kind of gets injured again, so they're basically relying on this last crystal to keep him alive. What do you think of the artifacts with the crystals and the portals and all that stuff?
I'm still not sure what to think about the crystals.
Right.
The portals, I'd already made my decision.
Yeah.
But it is a supernaturalistic world, so I can see that at the same time, though.
Yeah.
I wish they'd explain the eye thing a little bit more.
Yeah, they still have not explained Robyn's eye.
Or Cal's.
They get to explaining that, I think, in this.
Maybe I missed it.
So we get back to Mist, and they basically drop right into the middle of a battle between the Dark Army and Avella. And Avella and yeah, that's the coolest thing about this story is Robyn is running into all these people that she thought were villains actually working with her friends. So we had Gisborne working with Marion, and we now have Avella working with Much the Miller's son. The one merry man that's actually still alive, because technically, well, Scarlet is alive, but he's on borrowed time.
Which is strange to me.
Why?
That he's on borrowed time. I would have thought she would have totally healed him.
That actually does come up later here. So they win the first battle here. And they then go into Nottingham. And Nottingham is not exactly what it used to be. I mean, this place is falling apart. The sheriff has essentially let the town go.
Well, it is Cal. He just cares about himself.
True. So we have this one townsfolk person guy come in and try to beg for Cal to not to destroy the town that his wife lives in, and this giant orc comes in and interrupts them and basically says, "Oh yeah, she's back. My Robyn is here." And we kind of see that Cal kind of falters because we see his eye as the guy barges in. Cal's eye just like he grabs the whole left side of his face, and it's something to do with his eye, and then he quickly recovers. We go back to Sherwood Forest, and they need to come up with a plan. We get more with Robyn and Will. They go off together. He tells her that he loves her, and they kiss, and yada, yada, yada. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I did just pull a Seinfeld reference for you. We go back to them wanting to make a plan to get through the towns to get to Cal. Avella teleports them. See, this is always weird to me because Avella has blue teleportation and Marion has the crystals, which are pink. So that's one thing that's the one thing about the teleportation that I kind of don't really care for is the overall changing color. Like, pick a color already. She does this spell where it turns all of them into orcs. And this might be the best panel.
With the little bubbles over their head that look like something that Matt Moylan from Little Formers would do.
Yeah. To basically tell us, the readers, which orc is which. And that's just so cool. I love that. So they get through like 2/3 of these towns. And then Will's little injury there stops them, and the real orcs realize, oh, it's magic, it's this, it's that, and Will is dying, and this is where Robyn finds out that he's actually dying, and it kind of reminds me of the end of Iron Man 2 when Tony finally tells Pepper that he was dying, or that he was going to die if he didn't figure out something. That's what this kind of reminds me of. A little bit. So we get to the townspeople, and the townspeople are like, yeah, screw Robyn, we're going to take the town back ourselves. And the sheriff just laughs at that. What are you thinking so far?
I think that the people are screwed.
Yeah.
I think that they definitely, Robyn Hood's almost like a legend to them. Like, they don't know whether she's good or bad. I like the revelation about the whole Will's stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sorry, I'm kind of just broke.
Yep. Just broke. So we have, as the story continues here, we have Much and Gisborne going at it, and Much has just been waiting for a reason to fight Gisborne. And we see flashbacks of Friar Tuck's death, and I think they did this with this third issue here to kind of remind the readers of, hey, in case you hadn't seen this, this is what happened earlier. I don't think it's a bad representation of it. For a new reader, it reads well. And for me, reading it on the second time around, I didn't have a problem with it. So we have Gisborne walking off. We have Marion going with Avella. We have Robyn and Will basically having more alone time, and she keeps wrestling with the fact that she wants to tell him that she missed him, but she still will not tell him. We have Gisborne, Marion, and Avella going off together, and they're having their own adventure. Gisborne leaves them. And we already know that Avella is an evil witch. I mean, it's already been established here. And this part of the story kind of brings that up to full force here, because Avella walks off, and she actually is looking for Gisborne, and she sees him fighting with a grave. And I'm not sure. That's one thing about this story that I didn't get. I wasn't sure. Oh, it's Tuck. Of course. At first, I wasn't sure when I reread this whose grave it was, and even though I should have seen it at first. But so we have Gisborne and Avella, and we have them looking at the map again. As we go along, Avella and Gisborne leave Marion, and the Lady of the Lake returns. We have Delphina showing up and basically telling Marion, yeah, Avella's evil. Here, let me, enforce the good magic in you, and she does. And she gives her the means to cure Will Scarlet forever. Which she does, and so Will ends up getting cured. Avella and Gisborne fight. We have the townspeople standing up for themselves against the Dark Army. And the sheriff is just like, yeah, he's a cocky bastard. He is. He's like, yeah, this is gonna be fun.
I like how he can get shot, stabbed, and everything else, and he just kind of just stands there.
Yep. It's kind of like Megatron. Doesn't matter which version you use. So issue 4 here, we're almost at the end here, but issue 4 opens up with where issue 3 left off, where Robyn's asking him to not die, and Marion comes back and gives him the power to live again, and Will Scarlet is all healed. Robyn and Marion hug, and they go off to fight the battle. Once again, the artwork in this series is just so well done. Everything, like the backgrounds of the castle to how Cal's energy looks, the pink energy surrounding him, to the townsfolk, to Robyn and Will and everybody. It all looks so great. I always have this real fear of starting a new comic series and wondering if I'm going to really like the art, but so far, this entire series, there may have been one or two little things that I've not really cared for with the art, but overall, it's been damn good. So what do you think of the battle here between them and between the townsfolk and Cal, and then Gisborne showing up and all that?
I think it's funny. They're all trying to attack him on his own, and like the orcs and everything, but he's just obviously unstoppable, except for when he gets his hand cut off.
Yeah. Yeah. Got his hand cut off. That's never good. So.
And then everybody just stops fighting because Robin Hood shows up.
Yep, pretty much.
Excuse us, got a hot date.
Yeah. So we go back into the castle. We have more of the fighting. We have Cal and Gisborne fighting. We have Robyn and Will fighting not Gisborne, Cal. But Will gets killed again. The second time, Will Scarlet is dead, folks, and he's not coming back this time.
Yep.
Not good. So they come to realize, because Robyn had this plan originally where she just wants to cut Cal's head off. She assumes that's going to be the easiest way to kill him and get rid of him permanently. Well, they figure out, because of how his energy is and how Gisborne left himself a way out where the energy was supposed to disperse after a while. If you basically hack Cal up like some serial killer would, he won't come back. He'll die. And that's essentially what happens. Not before he gets in a few lines, but he does explode pretty good. That's an amazing image right there. Him exploding and Robyn kind of jumping, ducking out of the way. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. I think it sucks that they killed Will Scarlet that way, but...
Yeah, I do too. He just got, a new lease on life, and then he dies again. Yeah, that does suck, but as much as I liked him and Robyn together, and as you said it earlier, they kind of really do get each other, like where she's from her world and he's from his world, but they can kind of intermingle their, like, for a few moments in this series, in this trade here, he was talking like someone from Earth, and I really did dig that. I kind of wish he would have stayed around a little bit longer. But I get what they were trying to do here. And I do dig it. The final part of the story is basically Robyn burying Will, and we have a whole fight between her and Gisborne over the whole honor thing that I mentioned earlier. And she won't kill him. She won't give him what he wants, because she just won't. It's not the honorable thing to do. While this is going on, we have Marion and Much fighting the Dark Army outside. Basically, this all. What were you gonna say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. Basically, Robyn defeats Gisborne, and like I said, she's not gonna kill him, even though he's begging for it. And lo and behold, he gets killed anyway with a spear to the back, straight through the chest.
At least it's not an arrow to the knee.
Yeah,
you got an arrow to the hand.
Yeah. And Avella kills the guy of Gisborne. And she says, "Your pride for crossing me, serpent tongue." Oh, your prize for crossing me, serpent tongue. She says, "Warriors are above vengeance, but I am tired of war." And we then go to the outside, where she basically addresses the Dark Army. She uses the Child of Darkness thing, and even though she despises it, it seems to work, and we are now all at peace, even though we've all lost immeasurable things in this war. And we go to Robyn waking up to Maid Marian trying to cook for her, and it's probably the most horrific thing she's ever seen. Robyn wants to go back to Earth. She doesn't want to stay in Mist anymore, and she's trying to get out of it without having to say goodbye to her friends. That doesn't work. Marion wants to go with her, and she does. Now, what do you think of Maid Marian going to Earth?
Should be interesting. Only for the fact that she's not from that area and is going to have to learn how to fend for herself.
Yeah. Absolutely. So they go through the portal, and we come to a page and panel that says later. And we see Robyn's apartment with her computers and screens and whatever else, and we have shouts and screams coming out of the bathroom. Stay still. You're being a baby. I don't like this, Robyn. The sisters were better. And Maid Marian's essentially getting a new do, really. And she's got this new stylish haircut. And
then they get the Frito, or the Pringle can guy.
Yep. So, yeah, they go on.
They made Marian look like a badass, though.
Yeah, and she even says, it looks badass, and Robyn's like, I've got to stop using words around you. Yeah, they made Marian look like a badass. And yeah, we got the Frito Pringle-looking guy, and this one ends with, my name is Robyn Hood.
And you have failed this city.
Thank God he didn't put that in there, folks.
I did.
Thank you. I know you did, but thank God Patrick Chan did not write that in there.
That would be funny, though.
It would be funny, but thank God.
And then Marian's like, oh, no, you didn't.
Overall, the Legend trade is an interesting end to the story. It transitions us perfectly into
the series.
Into the ongoing series. Now, did you read the little preview of the? We're not going to get into this, but I just want to ask you: did you read the little preview at the back of the book, for where it says, "So this is different. Robyn Hood #1, the brand new ongoing series."
Yeah, I read that.
Okay. So what we're going to do, folks, is we're going to save the series for next time. I'm not sure when Steve and I will come back, and we will actually review the first trade, which has the first 5 issues, I believe, of the series. But yeah, no, the ongoing series is just amazing. Really, really digging the ongoing series. So overall, sir, your thoughts on your first exploration into Zenescope Entertainment?
I was impressed. I wasn't expecting to like a series that didn't have Batman in it. So yeah, I mean, I liked the art. It wasn't too dark. It was detailed where it needed to be and not where it didn't need to be. Mm-hmm. The story was coherent all the way through. I didn't find any real continuity bridge gaps that were destroyed, throughout the whole thing.
Right.
Like I do with like DC. I'm looking at you, New 52.
That's DC.
Of course, that doesn't exist either, so I don't know what the hell's going on anymore.
It's the DCU now because they want you to be in charge.
Yeah, if I was in charge, things would be very different. Like things would make sense.
Yeah.
They'd probably actually make dollars too, but that's a soapbox I could. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Anyways, but no, I mean, I was really impressed with how well it pulled itself together throughout the entire several trades and how consistent everything stayed. And then, yeah, I mean, Robyn got some upgraded suits, but she's always ripping them up, so it's it gives reason to why that she would have those. I'm just waiting for her, her new Merry Men in Manhattan.
No, I don't think that there's...
Well, I mean, she's got Marion. I mean...
So far, there's 12 issues, and it's her and Marion against the world.
For now.
I don't... Well, This is the end of Robyn Hood Month here on the Pull Bag, ladies and gentlemen. The next time you're going to hear anything about Robyn Hood and Zenescope is when I interview, hopefully, Mr. Patrick Shan, the author of this series, and I will ask him if she's going to get some new Merry Men. To my knowledge, and to this point in the series, I don't think it's going to happen. I also know I did ask him on Twitter, are they ever going to return to Mist? And he said no. They're never going to go back to Mist at this point. They're fully in New York City. So, all right, folks. Coming up next here inside the Pull Bag, I have no clue. You'd think I'd know what the hell I'm doing, right, ladies and gentlemen? Sometimes I do, and a lot of times I don't. I do know that September, hopefully, is going to be Supergirl month, where Michael Bailey and I will be reviewing all 6 trades from the DC New 52 thing for Supergirl. Okay, August, we're going to have, hopefully, Gem and the Holograms, issues 4 and 5. We're going to have Transformers Last Stand of the Wreckers. We're going to have Mars Attacks Popeye, apparently. And we're going to have Transformers Robots in Disguise, the new animated comic based on the cartoon series, issues number 1 and 2. So that's what's coming up in August. And then September is Supergirl month to prepare for the TV series coming in October. Hopefully in October, you and I can get to doing Batman Beyond 2.0 Marked Soul, which is the final Batman Beyond title written by Kyle Higgins and all that. So that's essentially Kyle's version of Mask of the Phantasm. That's kind of his Return of the Joker kind of story arc thing. So we'll be doing that. Hopefully Ryan the Uneven Flow Merkley will be returning. We might do Gotham Central. What?
Nothing.
What?
I'm reading something.
Stop reading something. Hopefully Ryan the Uneven Flow Merkley will be returning to the Pull Bag. We're going to talk about Gotham Central in October as well. After that, I'm not sure. So, all right, folks, we're going to get out of here before Steve cracks up anymore. So, you can follow us on Twitter at Geekcast Radio. I am at TFG1Mike. Steve is at SCP-21. Make your great escape into comics, and we will catch you next time.
You've just heard the latest episode of the Pull Bag, the GCRN's comic review and discussion podcast. There are several ways to get in touch with us and leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you were leaving the message for and your name. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching Geekcast Radio Network. Send us an email feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Geekcast Radio. So until next time, make your great escape into comics and unleash the geek in you.